What's the best theory on UFOs or aliens you've ever heard? Find all the secret numbers hidden in the video and post it in the comment with your username to get a chance to win a $50 gift card each month. If aliens are on this planet, they are likely using the ocean as a place to hide. Not exactly a theory, but I got a great kick out of reading this. https://www.mit.edu/people/dpoli/writing/text/thinkingmeat.html. That greys aren't fully biological, but rather remotely controlled androids. Or that they are biological, but their gray appearance is a suit and not the actual body. Imagine other lifeforms looking at our astronauts saying, "Here come the marshmallow cyclops creatures again." The premise in Lilo and Stitch, that Earth is a mosquito preserve. Aliens landed once in Africa. Got eaten by lions. Planet now marked as dangerous by the galactic feds. That if any civilization elsewhere in the universe had the technology to reach us for any reason, they'd be very likely to be able to disguise their presence from our detection methods. I.e., they could observe us close up using nanotech, microscopic biological spacecraft, etc., and we'd never know. Aliens don't necessarily mean an intelligent civilization. There are so many star systems with potentially inhabitable planets out there that the chances that we have been the only life in the universe is extremely slim. The question, instead, is whether life arising elsewhere has managed to survive destruction and remain alive today such that they might be able to contact us. That is to say, there have probably been countless civilizations for the past several billion years that simply haven't made it. The best two I've heard. We don't allow ourselves to contact lost tribes in the Amazon or other wild places. Extraterrestrials may have similar laws on a galactic scale. We split the atom, but made weapons out of them instead of trying to reach the stars. They leave us alone out of fear that we'll destroy ourselves if war accidentally breaks out. That life in the universe could be so unrecognizable to us that we wouldn't even register it as being alien life. What if life on another world was not carbon-based, but another element? How would we even know what to look for, since our definitions and descriptions of life are based on a completely different perspective? Brian Cox's, at least that's who I heard this from first, solution to the Fermi paradox. TLDR. Most civilization advanced enough to get even close to interstellar travel becomes too energy intensive and destroys themselves, their planet, before they get far enough for interstellar contact. That there is no one else and we are those advanced aliens. The universe is still in its toddler stage in age and we are the first intelligent people. Consider the fact that the human race is a divided mess of contradictory intents. We have the scientific community reaching out peacefully. Yet if aliens do come into the airspace of any nation, the first to greet them would be the military. You can imagine what the response of the military would be when a UFO enters forbidden airspace. Given the declassified government files regarding UFOs, it is quite likely that contact has been attempted in the past and the results being tragic. You know that trope in sci-fi shows, where they stumble upon the networks of the founders, or the ancients, or the architects. A civilization so advanced, long ago, that traveled the stars? That is us. We're seemingly alone because we're the first. Maybe they'll stumble upon us in a million years. I don't believe it, but that they live in underground caves and dwell primarily in Antarctica. I don't remember the complete theory, but people say they're an advanced race adapted for life underground, and that they have advanced machinery because they have been living on the Earth longer than humans. IDK, but someone on here posted about something happening this year in July. They posted it like 7 or so years ago. I'm looking forward to some action this summer. We're not the first. We are the aliens that we're looking for. Mammals are not native to Earth. The asteroid was a massive chunk of our planet and we populated the Earth after that. Is that a theory that I believe? No. Not at all. Is it a good concept for a sci-fi movie? Asterisk asterisk yes. Asterisk asterisk. Aliens may perceive the passage of time differently than us. Our whole existence could play out before they've had their proverbial morning coffee or vice versa. Do I believe it? No. Fun to think about. That we are the first and or the most advanced life forms at this moment in space-time. I don't remember where I heard it. Maybe some NPR program. But it's interesting to consider. We often discount the idea that we could ever be that special. But there is always the chance that we are. Someone had to be the first. That someone might just be us. The U.S. military has intentionally orchestrated alien sightings and kidnappings, as well as funded UFO religions and conspiracy theories, to prevent people from being taken seriously should they happen to notice some experimental planes, and so forth. There are no aliens. But there are U.S. military agents in goofy spacesuits who mutilate cattle and probe deranged people to encourage them to make fools of themselves. If you wanted to explore space, you'd send technology instead of risking the life of a scientist. The little green men in other now cliché depictions are just biological computers that they can control, and that's why they look so simplistic and unidentifiable. Reminds me of Robot or droids. The most logical theory I've ever heard is that 99% of alien sightings are set up by special intelligence agencies to distract from more nefarious things they are doing. The best theory I've ever heard is that aliens do want to make contact with us, but they're simply shy. Not from space, but from here. But perhaps partially out of sync with us somehow. I think world mythology, fables, and other stories often describe similar beings throughout world history. This is just the most modern and popular take on the subject. We are actually the first life forms to ever exist, and in the future we will be referred to as the Great Ancients. My father-in-law believes that Bigfoot is an alien. It explains why we rarely see photos or evidence. The book Little Green Men. Aliens only abduct people that they know won't be believed, until a paperwork screw-up leads them to kidnap someone with a trusting audience. I had a fun theory that Earth is one of a few life-generating planets and that aliens are actually Earth-originated beings who have moved on to settle the galaxy. Any visits are them checking in on our development. And eventually we'll be advanced enough to join and make way for another wave. Not really a theory, I believe. More the basis for a story. Can't remember where I heard it. I know it was from a movie or TV show, but it went like, if you took a cup to the ocean and filled it, you wouldn't assume fish don't exist since there's none in the cup. That's the same with our galaxy. We've only explored and reached so far. The theory that really intrigues me is that other beings in the universe find it pointless to contact us as we are not highly evolved creatures. And that trying to make contact with us would be as if humans tried to make contact and communication with ants. We wouldn't be able to understand them or comprehend anything they would say. That they're extra-tempestrals, not extraterrestrials. They are some type of human evolutionary outcome from the future. It's why they look humanoid if evolution were to theoretically continue. Time travelers or dimension travelers may explain why they aren't violent, obvious, or intrusive. They're just what humans become in X years. Just a theory, but I think it holds weight. Maybe UFOs seemingly don't have rivets or welds because cold welding can occur in any other atmosphere except ours. In an alternate reality, we have developed different forms of technology due to different historical choices. So the humans of that alternate reality have advanced enough to travel to other realities. And another theory is that UFOs are just the alien equivalent of a microscopic lens. And our entire universe is just a petri dish. Roswell. The fact that a military expert identified it as a spaceship publicly then had to do a very staged photo op to discreet himself. And that a bunch of people in the military had weird stories from that time. Like flying a general to New Mexico then straight to Washington suggests they might have found something. Also, the government had to change their story and admit to lying doesn't sound great. I don't exactly believe it, but if I was forced to pick one, that would be it. We live in a computer simulation where there is only enough RAM to load a single solar system. I worked with a guy who had a conspiracy of a conspiracy. Thought that it wasn't aliens, it was demons from hell, and the government just wanted us to think that they were aliens so we wouldn't catch on to their evil devil plots. Had a good laugh. Aliens came to Earth in 2550 BC and built the pyramids as a gift to thank the Egyptians for introducing them to cats, the animal. Then they came back in 1981 and gave us the internet for introducing them to cats, the musical. Then they came back once again in 2019 and gave us COVID-19 for introducing them to cats, the movie. Prove me wrong. I think if there's any intelligence with the capability of traveling through the vast distance of space, it's not going to be a bunch of individual beings riding around together in a spacecraft. I doubt it would be biological animals at all. Anything with that kind of capability and power would be quite abstract and unrecognizable. And probably entirely uninterested in communicating with us. The aliens are humans from the far future. They're not traveling through space but through time. They probe and dissect to learn about their ancestors and use that knowledge to better their present. A report on U.S. UFO sightings is supposed to be released soon. And #X200B. https www.washingtonpost.com, National Security, the 23rd of March 2021, UFO report COVID bill. https www.washingtonpost.com, National Security, the 23rd of March 2021, UFO report COVID bill. There's a musician, comedian that does a bit on how we are just a poof, living planet now, but for another planet full of life to pop up it might be millions of years later and millions of miles away. Connecting the two would be impossible. I can't remember, and it's on YouTube, but I can't find out. I've been looking for 46 minutes lol. If you've seen it, please share it with me. It's like Vlad the astronomer or something. Man, tip of my tongue. We are like a reservation or ecological reserve for them. We're not to be interfered with. That UFOs are just time travel devices from people in the future observing the past. We don't have a ton of UFO sighting anymore because now that we have social media and post everything about ourselves, people from the future already know everything about us. I find it interesting that we see proportionately less pictures, footage of UFOs now that we all have cameras in our pockets than in the 80s when film was expensive. It should be dramatically more, yet it isn't. And with HD, 4K, 8K now, we should have really high quality proof. At least some? UFOs are actually a result of mad scientists and not aliens. The only reason there aren't any sightings is because they record and upload videos of their experimental crafts to YouTube nowadays. Different wavelengths. Or dimensions. If there's a difference. So, the same way we can't see, feel colors outside our visible spectrum. E.g. gamma rays. We're too different to interact with aliens. Sometimes they build odd contraptions to phase into our dimension. Sometimes mushrooms, chemicals disrupt our brain enough to see into their dimension. Neither method works for very long. So there's just sightings without much interaction. Absolutely. The Nimitz encounter and some of the best actual video evidence we have shows that UFOs and USOs might be the same thing, and that they can easily travel through water and air both. Plus, there have been rumors about Lake Baikal in Russia for centuries. Lake Baikal is one of the deepest lakes on Earth and could absolutely harbor some crazy shit. I read this as, using Earth as a place to hide, as if aliens who visit Earth are intergalactic criminals in hiding, and I liked that hypothesis better. This reads like an alien Seinfeld. Aboard the mother ship cafeteria. They're made of meat. Laugh track. Meat? Meet Jerry. They're made of meat. Quote. Here's an amazing video interpretation of it. https u2.be/7tscannerDQ. I posted it but was an idiot and didn't put the link in, so I deleted and decided to repost it.